I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the result. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was scarred with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcast it like hey ya.
Yo, a party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the number one Chief Rocket Knicks universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy. Welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive. How y'all doing out there? Welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive. The joint, y'all know what it is. It's your number one joint in the mornings, talking Knicks. Y'all know what it is. Let me see. I'm going to try to see if I can edit this layout some. Let me slide this back this way a little bit. And then make this a smidge bigger. And me and JB can share the screen at the same time. We're going to save it. All right. Let me move some things around in here before we get started. Let me delete that. Right, time for a new keyboard too, by the way. There we go, man. I was scheduled to get in here this morning at 9:30. Man, getting off to an auspicious start, to say the least. But y'all want this party started right. Y'all want this party started quickly, right? Let's go. Let's get it, man. Good mornings. Let's start this morning off with a quote from the great American poet, Grand Poobah. Grand Poobah says, now, a lot of people think this is easy as it look. Books and books of rhyme, concepts, and hooks. Session to session to get thoughts manifested, stressing to stressing to hit the world with a blessing. Bem, it goes a little something like that. Let me shout out my people in the building. DSJ is in the house. Corey Lee is in the house. Soul Finger is in the house. Otherwise is in the house. What's good, everyone? Salute to everybody watching. Those not necessarily typing, those just viewing. Salute to y'all. Good Monday morning. Good Monday morning. Man, it's good to see y'all, man. Good to be with y'all, man. Ugh. I'm drinking unsweetened coffee this morning. Yeah. Shout out to my peoples everywhere. I know the notifications and things went out, man. So I'm gonna do a little casual talk. Do a little casual talk just real quick. Just for a few minutes, just to give everybody a chance to get here, and then we're gonna get down to the nitty-gritty. DSJ says, "What's in the cup?" I'm drinking Bustelo with a little cream, and I'm also drinking water. But that look on my face is one that's telling me that my dog just did a drive-by. If you ever had a dog do a drive-by, if you've ever been crop dusted by a doggy, you'll recognize that look of salute to Trini. Mess says, "Why do I have a bad feeling about Kerr influencing Brunson?" I would say to you, brother, a bad feeling about Kerr influencing Brunson. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why there is a bad feeling, or what the bad feelings, what those bad instincts are telling you. I don't know. Queens get the money. Top of the morning. Man, this morning started off, it's already crazy, man. It's already a crazy week. Man, I wake up anticipating an email from an entity, and it's not here yet. Right? I've been waiting on a business email, a business related email that hadn't shown. Overslept, didn't get my exercise in this morning. Looks like it's going to be just one of those days. Okay. All right. So got an email, not the one that I was anticipating. That didn't show. One of the doggies at the surprise in the living room makes you want to just chop them in a little doggy neck. What's going on? While y'all here, before I get started on the topic du jour, y'all got any other questions y'all want to chop it up, talk about, man? Y'all let me know. Let me know what y'all think. And you know what? I'll look. I'm gonna preview the video. I'll just let the video play, and then that way y'all will see where I'm going with Jalen Brunson. But if y'all have any Knicks related questions, y'all just ask away. And then while we wait on the stragglers this morning to show up, we'll get into it. And DSJ says, overslept instead of 14 minutes of sleep. Yeah, man. I still got 14 minutes of sleep. I just got them. I still only got 14 minutes, bro. But what I'm saying is I studied really late into the night, and then so it pushed back. Yeah, you know what I mean. I'm still only gonna get 14 minutes. You know how that go. TC says or asks, what y'all think of Gerson Rosas? I'm not gonna lie to you. My impression of him to date is nothing. It's not fair. It's not fair for me to pin coincidences on him, but I will say this about Gerson Rosas. I will say this about Gerson Rosas. Since he's been here, we hadn't really done anything special. Since he's been here, and I know it's mere coincidence. Outside of just this one thing, it seems like he's just been here. Rel is in the building. Salute, salute, salute. So I got leveling up on here twice. I meant to put impact, but let's see, leadership, clutch scoring, leveling up. Okay. I'll make this work, y'all. I'll make this work. We're gonna make this work. The Jalen Brunson thing, we're gonna make that work. Alawai says, I don't sleep, I rest. Yeah. 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 Alawai, hey, Mr. Wise, I need to have you on a joint over on Vibes, bro. I got some questions to ask you. Queen says we need a Vibes and stuff on the Alabama boat dock situation. Yeah. 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 Definitely need to look into that and get y'all opinion on that. DSJ says, I think he's here for a check too. Yep. What I'm going to say to you is I understand that building a championship is not easy. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Building a championship contender is not easy. Right? I understand that. I understand that building a championship contender is not easy, especially with the limitations the Knicks have inherently placed on them. Right? The Knicks fan base has shackles placed on them, so it's hard winning here. And it's the same shackles that my Mets have on them also. Right? These are the same shackles that our Mets have on them. And it seems like they don't relate, but they do. Yo, Mr. Atkins is in the house. Sherwin is in the house. Okay. I see you. Good mornings, good mornings, good mornings, good mornings, good mornings, good mornings, good mornings. Hey, Sherwin, I'm gonna say this to make you laugh, right? And this is only for comedic purposes only, right? This is only for humor. Sherwin, I'm thinking about making the move into local government. And I know Sherwin's like, who, you? Yeah, man, me. Why not me, Sherwin? Sherwin, Sherwin, don't be laughing. Hey, listen, Mr. Sherwin W., don't be laughing at me, bro. With me thinking about potentially making a move into local government, bro. I say that it's for humor, but I actually wanted your cosign. I needed a pat on the back for that one. Like yeah, do it, man, do it. So I thought about making that move, man. And shaking hands, otherwise, and shaking hands. And shaking hands, man. My homeboy ran, and part of one of his punchlines and his speeches would be, yeah, man, as hot as it is out here, y'all got me out here shaking babies and kissing hands. That was like one of his opening things to his, you know what I'm saying? He didn't win, but it was fun rocking with him while he did that. So let me get into it. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. So, oh, Sherwin, I hit telling jokes already. Sherwin, that was like a kick in the stomach. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate the cosign. See the sarcasm? Shout out to my man. Shout out to my man Sherwin. Shout out to Sherwin W. Sherwin W is in the house. Good morning, brother. Good morning. Good morning. So I think this Steve Kerr impact thing is real, right? And I think it's real in the sense of the Greg Popovich, Kobe Bryant scenario. First of all, let me say this. First of all, when it comes to coaching, I no longer think Eric Spoelstra and Greg Popovich are top of the food chain, top of the pyramid. In my opinion, Steve Kerr is the best coach in basketball. Right? And not because Steve Kerr has Steph Curry or Steve Kerr has Klay Thompson or Steve Kerr has Draymond Green, because the same could be said about Greg Popovich and Tim Duncan. The same thing could be said for Eric Spoelstra and Dwayne Wade, Eric Spoelstra and Chris Bosh, Eric Spoelstra and Ray Allen, Eric Spoelstra and Jimmy Butler, Eric Spoelstra and LeBron James. Salute to the son of the legend, Kerry Cox is in the building. If you ask yourself, excuse me, sorry. Miss Mocha, something's wrong with this coffee is broken. This coffee is doing nothing. This coffee is broken. Is it? No, it don't have it don't have kick to it. It don't have caffeine or the caffeine or whatever it is ain't kicking in or something. The machine is broken. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all watched Miss Mocha and I have an argument. I'm sorry. yo, I'm sorry, man. Y'all just watched me. Y'all just watched Uncle Freezy and Miss Mocha have an argument. I'm sorry. And husband and wives are gonna do that sometimes, man. I said the coffee is broken, it's not working, and yeah. But here's my thing. Here's my thing though. Back to Steve Kerr, right? Steve Kerr is unquestionably the best coach in today's NBA. You've seen Steve Kerr take Steph Curry, who is majorly flawed but is exceptionally great in certain things. Stephen Curry, for all of his greatness, and I feel like he's the greatest point guard to ever play. And so just hear me out on it. I'm not disrespecting Steph Curry because I feel like he's the greatest point guard to ever breathe breath. That's just my opinion. Right? But my thing is also, for all of Steph Curry's greatness, there are significant flaws in his game. And they're not offensive flaws, they're defensive flaws. Steph Curry defensively is bad with a D at the end. Steph Curry is so bad defensively with the D at the end that you have to surround him with certain types of players. Remember, I said that. Put a pin in what I just said. Remember that. What I just said. Steph Curry is so bad defensively that you have to surround him with certain type players. But Steph Curry offensively might be one of the greatest offensive players we've ever seen. You know what? I'll draw a singular line through might. I think Steph Curry is one of the greatest offensive players we've ever seen. Right? But Steph Curry as an offensive weapon is elite. But what is more elite than Steph Curry's offensive game is the word that you see on the screen. Sherwin says Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, John Stockton are rolling in their grave. Bro, no, I feel you. I feel you. Sharon, listen, when I say the greatest point guard ever, I don't mean that Magic Johnson is not like right behind him. I'm saying this with the mindset that Steph Curry has played more seasons than Magic Johnson and probably played with what makes Steph Curry a greater point guard than Magic and Isaiah and Stockton is that Steph Curry won championships with two separate rosters. Steph Curry won championships with Iguodala, Clay, and Kevin Durant all in their prime. And then he won a championship with Andrew Wiggins in his prime. right? And I see where y'all going in the chat, and I'll entertain this. I had a point, but what I'll do is I'll humor y'all on the Magic point, right? I think Steph Curry is better than Magic, but I think it's a photo finish, right? So if you're thinking I'm disrespecting Magic, I'm not. Right? What I'm saying is Steph Curry is, and I may have used hyperbole a little bit, but really I'm saying Steph Curry is better than Magic Johnson. It's a photo finish right now. But if Steph Curry continues to play, it's not going to be a photo finish. One more great season from Steph, and it's not going to be as close as it used to be. But what I will say is this: Magic Johnson in his championship run played with the greatest NBA player of all time in Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And if you merely extrapolate that point there and mention something along the lines of, what if Steph Curry played with the GOAT or a top 5 player all time? What if Steph Curry played with LeBron James? What if Steph Curry played with LeBron James? I don't want you to go down that road. I don't want you to go down the road of Steph Curry and LeBron together about how many championships they would win. I'm merely pointing out that Magic Johnson played with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It's like the Scottie Pippen argument, right? Scottie Pippen is great. How come Scottie Pippen is on all these great NBA teams, all these all NBA historic teams that they make top 75, all this stuff, right? And then you mention who he played with, right? And then ask yourself, is Scottie Pippen better than Steph Curry? Well, Scottie Pippen played with Michael Jordan. Is Magic Johnson greater than Steph Curry? Well, Magic Johnson not only played with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Think about the number 1 picks that was on that roster. Think about the former MVPs that were on that roster with Magic. Think about all the great players Magic Johnson played with, right? Magic Johnson played with Byron the Frenchman Scott, the greatest backcourt defender of all time, potentially, in Michael Cooper. Magic Johnson had Klay Thompson's daddy coming off the bench. Michael Thompson was the number 1 pick in the draft. Michael Jackson. Magic Johnson played with the league MVP, former Knick, coming off the bench, Bob McAdoo. When you put all these things into context, right? When you put all these things into context, Steph Curry is by far the greatest point guard to ever breathe. Not by far, by a photo finish right now. But let me rephrase. When it's all said and done, Steph Curry will be the greatest point guard to ever breathe breath by far. And it really, when you think about it, it really shouldn't be. It really even shouldn't be a point of contention with old school NBA fans. Yeah, with HIV. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, Sherwin. Yeah. And Sherwin, that's before we knew he had HIV. Now, here's the thing. He may have had it before that, and he just got tested for it in 91. We don't know if Magic wasn't playing with it in 89, in 90, in 88. We don't know that for sure. And Sherwin, this is my point. This is my point. When it's all said and done, is the best player to have played with Steph Curry, say about 5 years. Let's give it a 5-year window, right? 5 seasons. The best player to have played with Steph Curry for 5 seasons? Klay Thompson. Who's the best player to have played with Magic Johnson for 5 years? Michael Cooper, James Worthy, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? Who's the best player to have played with Michael Jordan for 5 seasons? Scottie Pippen? And so this all goes back to the goodness of Steve Kerr and Steph Curry. Chef NYK is in the building. He says James Worthy, Kareem, all these guys, man. I'm not taking away from Magic Johnson's goodness, right? Because I think Magic Johnson would have took any franchise to an NBA championship. Magic Johnson was just that good, right? But the point that I'm getting at is this. The point that I'm getting at is this. Steph Curry was great. Or Steph Curry was good before Steve Kerr. And Steve Kerr took a good offensive point guard and placed him squarely in the GOAT conversation. Right? A lot of that is Steph Curry, right? But a lot of that is Steve Kerr. Give you an example. I'll give you an example of a guy that could have been a Steph Curry prototype and right now is just who he is. Trae Young. In college and in high school, Trae Young could do all the stuff that Steph Curry does. The long cross-court passes, scoring machine, all these things. Trae Young had, at one point, had the Steph Curry template. But you see what bad coaching does to good talent. It didn't ruin Trae Young because Trae Young is a heck of a player, but Trae Young did not reach that immense ceiling that we all saw when he was traded for Luka Doncic. Remember, Trae Young was viewed as potentially a Steph Curry-like player early on, coming out of Oklahoma. But you see what bad coaching can do to immense talent, right? Trae Young is still a heck of a player. He's still a great, great player, but he's not Steph Curry. I'll give you another example. Karl-Anthony Towns. Karl-Anthony Towns. Chat, what do y'all think about Karl-Anthony Towns? Chat, be honest. How do y'all feel about Karl-Anthony Towns? Tell me how y'all feel about Karl-Anthony Towns. Sherwin says he's a lazy player. Chat, be honest. Be honest with me. Tell me how y'all feel about Karl-Anthony Towns, because I have a point. Rel says he's soft. Chef NYK says he needs a change of scenery. Sherwin says Towns should be an MVP candidate if not for his laziness on defense. DSJ says Cat has a good skill set, but not a winning mindset. TC says, I think he is great. Once he had some good players around him, the team goes to the playoffs. And I'm here to tell you, this is my opinion about Karl-Anthony Towns. In my mind, in my opinion, Karl-Anthony Towns is a better basketball player than Joel Embiid. In my mind. In my mind, if you put Joel Embiid in Minnesota and Karl-Anthony Towns on those second-round Philadelphia teams, I think you view Karl-Anthony Towns differently. And the reason being is because Karl-Anthony Towns historically has had mediocre to bad coaching, period. Whereas Joel Embiid, for the most part, was coddled. Joel Embiid, his first 3 seasons, was coddled by the NBA and the Sixers. And then when they were ready to take that step, the team around Joel Embiid was good. And so Joel Embiid was given carte blanche to just play his game. See, Joel Embiid never was forced to raise the level of play in that franchise. See, the Sixers got the good Ben Simmons. And then when when Ben Simmons went south, they traded him. Right? The Sixers had Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris, Al Horford, JJ Redick. So the good players around Joel Embiid made Joel Embiid look like a great NBA player. And while I'm not saying Joel Embiid is a bad player, what I'm saying is culture and environment play a lot into who you look like as a player. I'll give you an even better example. I'll do you even one better. Shout out to my man Rel, right? Because I got to use his Dallas Mavericks. I got to use his Dallas Mavericks as an example. Right now, if the Dallas Mavericks had Karl-Anthony Towns at center, they contend for a championship. If you can imagine a universe where their backcourt is Luka and Kyrie, and the Dallas Mavericks big man is Karl-Anthony Towns, all that other stuff that Dallas fans complain about goes away. Sherwin says Embiid is a top 5 player. Towns is a top 40. No. Embiid is a top 1 player right now. Top 1. He's one of one. Give him his credit. He's the league MVP, right? Embiid is one of one. Everybody in the league has admitted to it. He's the league MVP. He's one of one. He's better than Giannis. He's better than Jokic. All of that stuff is not how I feel. But the consensus, when you win league MVP, that's what the group says. That's what the group says. Karl-Anthony Towns, in my opinion, is a top 10 NBA talent. But you couple a top 10 NBA talent with the worst franchise in NBA history, and what do you get? Real says our defense would be trash. No, brother. No, brother. Here's the thing, Rel. The thing, Rel, is this. When you add talent like that, you'd be amazed. See, because historically, Kyrie Irving's defense had been terrible for years until he played with LeBron, Kevin Love. Because think about this. Tell me where the defensive stopper is when I mention this. Kyrie Irving, J.R. Smith, Kevin Love, LeBron James. Where's the defensive stopper in that group? Somebody help me. Yo, basketball heads, help me out on this. Where is the defensive stopper in this group? J.R. Smith, Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, Kevin Love. Where's the defensive stopper in that group? And that group went to the NBA Finals. Oh, Sherwin, stop it. Sherwin keyboard just he must have wasted something sticky on his keyboard, because I think he was trying to type Matthew Dellavedova, but he typed J.R. Smith. I think he was trying to type Tristan Thompson, but he typed J.R. Smith. Never. There has never been a stitch of time where you could see LeBron James step out onto an island against a scoring machine and slow them down. Never. Now, you might have seen LeBron James and chase down blocks. You might have seen LeBron James and chase down blocks or invade passing lanes, but you've never seen LeBron James walk out onto an island against Kevin Durant and slow him down. Against Carmelo? Come on, bro. Knicks fans, all you have to think about is the times where you saw LeBron James take on the task of stopping Melo, and it makes you laugh. Think about the times. NBA fans, anybody in here from Toronto, remember the Raptors? Y'all remember the times when LeBron James tried to stop Chris Bosh? Chris Bosh with the twist in Toronto? Number 4, Chris Bosh? Chris Bosh used to roast LeBron James off the dribble. That's why they all wanted to play together, because Chris Bosh would eat up Melo and LeBron. LeBron James is not a defender. LeBron James plays passing lanes, and he's a weak side shot blocker, chase down block artist. No. Juan B, I feel you. No. I feel you. Hey man, and I appreciate the energy, but no. As Knicks fans, we've seen Carmelo Anthony absolutely roast LeBron James every opportunity he got, and not just random occurrences either. Sherwin says, "Who didn't eat up?" No, I'm not talking about defensively. I'm talking about Melo. I'm talking about LeBron James defending Carmelo Anthony. I'm talking about LeBron James. No, Sherwin, that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what we're talking about right here. We're not talking about Melo defense. Melo didn't never play for the Cavaliers. That's not what we're talking about. What I'm saying to you is you've never seen LeBron James take on the challenge. As a matter of fact, in the NBA Finals, Kevin Durant absolutely destroys LeBron James. And I know what people are going to say, right? But that's Kevin Durant. Nobody can stop Kevin Durant. Well, LeBron James is probably pound for pound the greatest athlete to ever play in the NBA. Pound for pound, LeBron James is the greatest athlete the NBA has ever seen. Maybe outside of Wilt Chamberlain, who was a freak. Wilt Chamberlain moved like a point guard and had the strength of, he was stronger than Shaq, and Wilt Chamberlain moved like a point guard. So he's a freak. But so let's say the second, let's put LeBron in a category where he belongs. Bully, my brother is in the building. Salute. Good morning. Bully says salute. Peace. Shout out to the chat. Mellow 7 for life. Bim. Let's go. What I'm getting at ultimately is this. The way we look at stuff and the way things are two different things. Right? In my opinion, Karl-Anthony Towns is a top 10 skill player in the NBA, and I'm including everyone. I'm including guards, forwards, centers, hybrids, stretch fours, combo guards, all of them. Cat is a top 10 skill player in the NBA. And for example, if you take him off that disaster, which is the Minnesota Timberwolves, and put him on the Dallas Mavericks automatically jump to the front of the line in the Western Conference. Automatically. Right? Just think about what the Dallas Mavericks have at center right now. Think about what the Dallas Mavericks have at center right now. And think about how good they are right now. Because right now, in my opinion, no disrespect to Mavs fans, but just with Kyrie and Luka, I think they're probably the 7 or 8 seed. Just above like that the wild play-in scenario. Right? And no disrespect to Dallas, because we all got to start somewhere. I think Luka and Kyrie are both top 10 in the NBA in skill sets. And if you add Cat, that'll be 3 guys. That'll be 3 players in the top 10 an NBA skill set. Think about that. Think about that. Right? And whether you're a Cat fan, whether you're a Minnesota Timberwolves fan, whether you're a Dallas Mavericks fan, think about this. What if Jokic had to play defense also? What if Jokic had to defend another skilled NBA center that could shoot the three, score in the mid-range, score down low, take you off the dribble? What if Jokic had to defend that? David L says Anthony Davis is better than Cat. Not Cat down. No. Anthony Davis is not better than Karl-Anthony Towns. No. What are we talking about? Again, and listen, I'm not putting y'all on blast. I'm merely passionate about a certain point, right? Here's the thing that I'm gonna point out to y'all, right? What if Karl-Anthony Towns played with LeBron James? How would Karl-Anthony Towns look then? Anthony D is in the building. What's good, Anthony D? That man's so smooth. He does not require chase. Check Anthony D out on Old School Knicks live on Sunday mornings. What I'm saying to you is the perception of players and the reality of players are two different things. For instance, if the Dallas Mavericks had Karl-Anthony Towns at center right now, I think they contend for an NBA championship. Danny Landis is in the building. Prophet Knicks TV, what's good? And here's the thing: our perception of what Karl-Anthony Towns is, and what he really is, are two different things. I think what we see is Karl-Anthony Towns on a team that needs talent, can't elevate it past a certain point, right? And up to today, Anthony Edwards wasn't really ready. Like, he could score, but could he play winning basketball? Back then, no. I think Anthony Edwards is ready to go right now, though. You can't blame a young player for having to learn how to play in the league. All young players go through it. Kobe went through it. Michael Jordan went through it. You can't blame Anthony Edwards for not being ready, because every young player has to go through it. You have to learn how to win in this league. Trae Young is going through it right now. LaMelo Ball is going through it right now. They have to learn how to play in this league. And it's no indictment on them, but things take time. That's the reason why I always say about Quentin Grimes, relax. Stop calling him Clay. Relax. Stop calling him Clay. He's not Clay yet. That kid needs some time. Relax. and I'm bringing all of this back to Steph Curry, right? And second, and let me do the defense thing real quick. Let me do the defense thing real quick, right? Hey y'all, and this is to my man Rel, and King Khan, who have a popping channel. We Talk Mavs. Shout out to the We Talk Mavs crew. They dope. Check them out when they go live, man. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. They are part of the family. We are part of the family with them. We do this thing called the crossover. Make sure y'all check it out. And Rel also has another channel. We Geeked, I think it is. I think it's We Geek. Rel, if you still here, man, if you could put the link to it in the chat. Rel, if you still here, I'll see if I can find it. But Rel, if you still here, if you could put a link to We Geeked, if you could put that in the chat so everybody can check it out. I checked them out Saturday morning, man. It's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. They kind of ruined. Shout out to Rel and his partner on there. I don't know his name, but dude kind of ruined my day Saturday. I'm like, yo, how you gonna say the Fantastic Four is more important than the X-Men? Are you serious? Are you serious? The Fantastic Four more important than X-Men? Are you serious? Bruh. He lucky I didn't have that bruh button. Bruh. There's no way the Fantastic Four is more important than X-Men. Bruh, come. What? Shout out to, but the conversation was interesting though. Shout out to Rel. Man, that conversation was interesting, man. It kind of helped me get through Saturday morning grinding. I was listening to him as I was studying. Y'all already know the vibes. Y'all know. So Saturday morning I was studying underwriting and the types of underwriters and things of that sort. And I was listening to them, and they kind of got me through Saturday morning. So my thing is this. This is the thing I want to touch on just really briefly. Is everybody that loves defense, y'all need to go outside and smoke one of them $7 cigarettes. Defense is only important in the playoffs. That's it. Defense is only important in the playoffs. Once you get to the playoffs, then you can figure it out. Right? But you're not going to tell me a team, think about what I'm about to say, right? You're not going to tell me, and no shot at the Heat, right? Big Tone, that's my guy, right? But you ain't going to tell me a team that put Gabe Vincent, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler, Bam, and Kevin Love on the floor can make the NBA Finals, and we in here talking about defense? Yes, Jimmy Butler is okay defensively. Jimmy Butler good defensively. Yes, Bam is very, very good defensively, right? But you ain't going to tell me Kevin Love, Gabe Vincent, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Caleb Martin is deep. What? What? What are we talking about? I'm going to pass up on Karl-Anthony Towns because I want defense in a regular season against the Orlando Magic? Because I want defense in the regular season against the Washington Wizards, the Sacramento Kings? That's the reason why some of these franchises don't win. Our fans put importance on things that don't really matter. Defense is important, but defense is not everything in the regular season. Look at the Denver Nuggets. Ask the Denver Nuggets. Ask the Cleveland Cavaliers how important having the number one defense in the NBA was. The number one defense in the NBA last year, the Cleveland Cavaliers, guess what happened to them in the first round? Cleveland had the number one defense in the NBA last season, and guess what they ran into in the playoffs? A buzzsaw. They ran into, and listen, here's the other thing. The Lakers put emphasis on defense when they started going with Jared Vanderbilt and that unit of defensive stoppers, and guess what happened in the playoffs? And if you're a Knicks fan, think about your coach. If you're a Knicks fan, think about who your head coach is and what he puts emphasis on, and tell me, do you need more of what he is wanting, more of what he's offering? I'm gonna ask Trini. Trini, think about who our head coach is. Do you want to give this head coach more defense, or do you feel like this team needs a superstar that can score anytime he feel like it? I'm gonna let Trini set the edge for us. I'm gonna let Trini set the edge for us. Trini, set the edge for us, bro. Does Tom Thibodeau need more defense? Do we need to double down on what Tom Thibodeau wants to do, or does this team need a superstar that can score anytime he feel like it? Y'all tell me. I get it. I get it. I get it. Let me. What's my thing at? I was trying to get Rel to put his thing in the chat. Okay. I'm sorry. I text kind of slow. I'm sorry. Nev, the disruptor, is in the building. William Turnbull's in the building. Yeah, the thing about defense is great in the playoffs. You want it, you need balance, right? But the most important thing in the regular season is winning games. I don't care how you win, just win, baby. I don't care how you in the regular season. In the regular season, I don't care how you get to 54 wins. Just get there. I don't care if you run up and down the floor. I don't care if you're the Harlem Globetrotters. Just get to 54 wins. Right? I don't care. I don't care how you get to 54 wins. I don't care if you lose to all the top seeds. I don't care if you lose to all the top seeds and just eat on the bottom part of the league. Just do it. Do it. Wiz is in the building. Nev says this coach has proven that he cannot coach offensive players, and therefore you cannot give him players like Towns. Okay. I had to send Rel a text. Yo, my brother Stopper Don is in the building. Stopper Don says Nev is always wrong. Damn. So the point that I was getting at with Steph Curry and Steve Kerr, the reason why we went down that rabbit hole for one is because that's something that y'all want to talk about. So we talked about it, right? But the point that I was getting at with Steve Kerr and Stephen Curry is Stephen Curry, for all his greatness, all his eliteness, he might be the greatest point guard to ever play. Steph Curry is still a flawed player. His defense is not good at all. Sincere is in here. What's good? So Turnbull says, no problem with Cat, but Cat is an elite. He is miles behind Joker and Embiid. You know what, though? You know what, Turnbull? The thing is, this is what I want you to think about. And this is what I want everybody to think about. What if Joker had Doc Rivers coaching him? Or not even Doc Rivers. What if Joel Embiid had Tom Thibodeau coaching him? What if who was the coach before this current coach in Minnesota? What if Jokic had the dudes that coach in Minnesota coaching him? Would he be the same player? Hell no. What I'm saying is coaching matters, bro. Y'all notice that Anthony Davis under Alvin Gentry looked one way, right? But then Anthony Davis with the Lakers, a stable franchise, probably the best franchise in the NBA, maybe, and decent coaching, looks like this. So to say a player in a bad environment, Ryan Saunders, that's him. That's him. What if Joel Embiid was coached by Ryan Saunders? Are we having the same conversation? No. What if Jokic was coached by Ryan Saunders? Would we be having the same conversation? No. And I know everybody's saying, but Uncle Freezy, you can't go by what ifs. You have to. Because environmental factors exist. Right? I'll give you another example, an even better example. Yo, Keith Turner's in the building. What's good, Keith Turner? I'll give you a better example. What if Quentin Grimes was coached by Spoelstra, Popovich, or Kerr? Would we still be getting the same Quentin Grimes? Y'all heard what I said. Y'all heard what I asked. I asked you, what if Quentin Grimes was coached by Spoelstra, Popovich, or Kerr? Would we view Quentin Grimes the same? Environmental factors matter. If you think Quentin Grimes, our guy, this is our guy, right? Our guy, Quentin Grimes, this is our guy. Right? If Quentin Grimes was coached by Popovich, Spoelstra, or Kerr, would you view him differently? And if you think Grimes would be a better player sooner under those three, then why do we think Karl-Anthony Towns under Finch and Saunders is a lazy player, a bad player? I'm asking. Environmental factors matter. Look at Kyle Lowry under Dwayne Casey, and then look at Kyle Lowry under Nick Nurse. Environmental factors matter. Look at Giannis under Jason Kidd. Environmental factors matter. What I'm saying to you guys is this. If you take Joel Embiid, think about this. If you take Joel Embiid right now and put him on the Charlotte Hornets with the same roster, same coach, just take him off and put him on Charlotte. Are we having the same Joel Embiid conversation? No. We are not. No, we are not. Key Turner said you can only take so much delusional talk. Bro, what I'm saying to you is I think y'all think sometimes, and maybe it's just this topic, but I think sometimes y'all think in a pipeline, y'all think in a tunnel. I think y'all think just think sometimes y'all think in a tunnel, right? You just in that tunnel, you have no idea that tunnel is underwater, holding back billions of tons of water. That's what it is. The thought of this is good. The thought of this is good, but no, that would be terrible. Because Charlotte wants to get out and run the floor, get out in transition, dunk, shoot threes. Embiid wants to catch the ball in the half court, ISO his man, and score. Joel Embiid is a 280-pound big. He is not running up and down the floor all day long with the young Charlotte Hornets. He not. The idea of Embiid and ball together is one thing, but seeing them together is something else. Joel Embiid ain't trying to run up and down the floor no 37 minutes a game. A 280-pound center want to get up and down? Nah. But ultimately, the point that I'm getting at is this. The Kerr effect on Steph Curry is understated. And I know during the summer, there are going to be all kind of politically correct sound bites, right? All types of politically correct sound bites, like Steve Kerr talking about Jalen Brunson. Oh, Jalen Brunson is a very underrated leader. Jalen Brunson can do this. Jalen Brunson can do that. Yeah, he's going to start for us because Jalen Brunson brings the intangibles. Jalen Brunson. Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr, I almost think you're recruiting Brunson, bro. Listen to search Steve Kerr's comments on Jalen Brunson. It'll tell you something. But if the one thing about Kerr and Brunson is, Kerr and Curry is Steve Kerr brought Phil Jackson and Popovich to Steph Curry, right? And Steph Curry got better as the years went along. Right? Steve Kerr has Jalen Brunson for the summer. And I know a lot of amazing things can transpire over the course of a summer. I get it. But what I'm saying is a thimbleful of championship coaching, even for this small amount of time, right? Think about a thimble. Think about how small a thimble is, right? A thimbleful of championship coaching is better than years of normal NBA coaching. Anybody agree? Anybody disagree? And it's not just coaching, like running plays and things of that sort. When you're Jalen Brunson, when you're an elite leader, when you're an elite leader, see, think about this with Jalen Brunson. Think about this about Jalen Brunson. I'm going to say this, and I know Knicks fans are going to be frustrated, right? But don't get frustrated. Hear me out on this. I think Jalen Brunson, leadership-wise, I think Jalen Brunson is a mix between Tim Duncan, Chauncey Billups, and Magic Johnson. Leadership-wise. And notice the three different separate elements. The three different separate elements, right? Right? The three different types of separate elements, right? Magic Johnson is a team leader. Like you gravitated towards Magic Johnson. Sure, he smiled and sure he was flashy. That's not him. That's not Brunson. But the other leadership stuff, the way cats want to play with and for Magic Johnson, is what Jalen Brunson has. Cats are willing to take less money to come play with Jalen Brunson. NBA players like Jalen Brunson. You heard Luka Doncic say it himself. In an interview, they were like, "Hey, Luka, do you miss Jalen Brunson?" Yes, I really, really miss Jalen Brunson. I really miss Jalen Brunson. And this is in the midst of Dallas having a terrible season. Right? This is in the midst of Dallas having a terrible season. This is in the midst of Dallas having a terribly unexpected season. Luka said, "Yes, I really miss Jalen Brunson, man." Josh Hart is giddy to be here with the Knicks. All you hear about Josh Hart wanting to be here long term. Dante DiVincenzo. If you heard all the stuff that Randall said about Brunson over the summer, guys want to play for and with Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is that type of leader. Now, here's the Chauncey Billups part, right? I mentioned Chauncey Billups, right? Because Magic Johnson and Tim Duncan were the number one pick in their draft, right? So they're good. They are going to be great NBA players regardless, right? But I mentioned Chauncey Billups, and I want to throw Andre Miller in there also. Chauncey Billups, Andre Miller, right? The Last Laugh podcast is in the building. What's good? I mentioned Chauncey Billups, and I want to sprinkle in some Andre Miller. These guys didn't have elite NBA talent. They were good players. They were good players. But the thing about Andre Miller and Chauncey Billups is they could think the game at a high level. They were making the adjustments to the adjustments to the adjustments faster than their coaching staffs could. Sherman says, why? Brunson is not great at making his teammates better. Brunson is a scoring guard. I think that is a straw man argument because the Knicks were 37-45 before Brunson got here. And when Brunson got here, the Knicks were 47-35. That's a 10-win difference. 10. Sherman, you got to give him some credit, brother. You got to give him some credit. You got to give him some credit. You can't notice they won 10 more games with Jalen Brunson, right? They won 10 more games with Jalen Brunson, and we're complaining about R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson. And despite all of that, we won 10 more games. So if he didn't make everybody better, how did the Knicks get better? Are you giving all the credit to Isaiah Hartenstein? I think I understand where you're trying to go with it, but at the same time, let's give Jalen Brunson some credit. Because they were 37-45 before him, 47-35 with him, and we complain about the roster. Are we saying Isaiah Hartenstein did it? We got to give Jalen Brunson his credit, man. We got to give Jalen Brunson his credit. We may not understand how he goes about doing it, but he's doing it. He's doing it and doing it. I see DSJ is off his game. DSJ, I threw out like 8 music references and you ain't caught one yet, bro. Where that SpongeBob butterfly net at, bro? Come on, DSJ. You supposed to be having fun with us, bro. Hey, I see you, Sherwin. Sherwin said, who did Brunson make better? Julius Randle. Julius Randle was on a team that was 37-45. And Brunson comes back and Randle makes the All-Star team again. Is that not making him better? Julius Randle was an All-Star. People figured him out in the playoffs. He came back the next year, had a bad season. You bring in Jalen Brunson, and all of a sudden, Randle makes the All-Star team again. Is that not making him better? I don't, and listen, I don't want to hold a grudge against anybody. What I want to do here, kind of be positive, kind of give people credit where it is due. Can we do that? Can we give credit where it's due? Is Jalen Brunson not a great NBA player right now? Is that the conversation that we having? Julian Blum is in the building. Is that what we doing now? So Jalen Brunson is on the criticism block too? Jalen Brunson is on a witness stand? Now it's not just RJ, it's not just Tibbs, it's not just Randall, it's not just Mitch. Now Jalen Brunson's on a witness stand now? We cross-examining Jalen Brunson's game? Jalen Brunson should be held in high esteem, in my opinion. Right now, right now at this moment, until he does something otherwise, Jalen Brunson should be viewed as and held in high esteem. I don't want to criticize Brunson for the small stuff. Right? The small stuff is for fans to kind of chop it up with, have conversation. But my main thing is this. Jalen Brunson made this team better, and he did it by making others around him better. And Keith Turner says, it's crazy. Brunson ain't here to be no savior. No, relax, bro. Relax, bro. Relax. Relax. Come on. Relax, bro. Nobody said he's a hero or a savior. Nobody said that. We're not doing the olive oil theory. We're not doing the olive oil theory, bro. Y'all know the olive oil theory. Every little thing, olive oil scream for Popeye for help. It's not the olive oil theory, bro. We're not doing that. Not in this case. Right? Olive oil need help for anything. You remember how olive oil used to fall down on the railroad tracks, and when the train come in, and then Brutus used to just tie it up? We like, yo, why your dumb ass is on the railroad tracks? Big as the city is, you find railroad tracks to slip and fall on. That's olive oil. Damsel in distress. Now, we're not doing that, bro. What I'm pointing out or trying to get to eventually is the impact of Steve Kerr on Jalen Brunson. And we've seen Steve Kerr take another limited guard and turn him into one of the greats. And while I'm not saying that Kerr is going to do that all in one summer, what I'm saying is that just a thimbleful of the Steph Curry mojo in Jalen Brunson helps the Knicks tremendously. And Sherwin says, they all have weaknesses. Brunson is too ISO heavy. His footwork is like MJ and Kobe. It is great. He needs to share the ball more. Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. He says, did you see Brunson tear up Cade yesterday? Paris, thank you. Thank you, Paris Duggar. Thank you. And what I'm telling y'all is this. Sharing the ball and shooting are two different things. I know, because listen, I know y'all not getting ready to say that others on this team don't touch the basketball. I know that's not what y'all saying. Right? I know y'all not getting ready to tell a basketball man that watches the game that other Knicks don't touch the basketball. Please tell me that's not what y'all are saying. If you're saying that other Knicks need to get the opportunity to shoot more, okay. Right? But mind you, when given the opportunity to shoot more last year, this team won 37 games. What do you want to do? You want to win, or you want to be happy? You want to be excited because Mitch shot a three-pointer. Oh, we lost by 17 to the Timberwolves, but Mitchell Robinson shot 2 threes. Is that what we're saying? Are we saying that we would rather have Quentin Grimes takes 17 shots a game and we lose because our two all-star level players didn't get their 17 shots? Is that what we're saying? Just clarify. Because saying more touches doesn't equal more shots. If as a matter of fact, what I would have said in this case, even if I felt like that, what I would have said is RJ Barrett needs to be more efficient with his touches. I'm not taking the ball out of Jalen Brunson. Why would I take the ball out of Jalen Brunson's hands or Julius Randle's hands when RJ Barrett is wildly inconsistent and inefficient? Anthony D says, yes, let's keep passing to RJ 1 in 10, Randall 3 for 15 in the biggest game of the year. If we're pointing out that others need to impact the game with their scoring, how about they do that when they touch it? Because if we say that the Knicks just come down and do ISO off the rip, you not watching basketball or you have no idea what the hell you looking at. And I'm trying to give some leeway here. Right? I'm trying to give some leeway here. Because if you're saying that the Knicks and Jalen Brunson ISO too much, either you have no idea what you're talking about or you don't watch Knicks games. You hear Tom Thibodeau say all the time, the game will tell you what to do, and it's based on Tom Thibodeau's read and react offense. And if you watch the Knicks games, you notice most trips down the floor, they do the 3-man weave up top to create mismatches. Usually 3 people are touching the ball in the initial offensive set. 3 people are touching it off the rip. So as we come down, if somebody's on a heater, like if Randall hits 3 shots in a row, of course, when he comes down, they're going to run the pick and roll to get Randall the ball to get him another touch. They did it for Melo. They do it for everybody. Every team runs just about the same type of offense. Everybody run. When you look at the groupings, right now, when the Knicks ISO, when they ISO, it's usually Brunson or Randall when they ISO, which is probably about 34% of the time. But that's when after they run the read and react, after they run the pick and roll, nothing is there. You get it to your best offensive player so that you can get a bucket. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. Ivory 10 is run. Read and react and pick and roll almost always turns into yep. Okay. I'm with you, but that's not what I'm saying. I think I'm there with you on this. I can stand by you on this some, right? But the mindset that whoever takes the ball out is going to shoot is wrong. The mindset that whoever gets the inbound and brings it up is going to shoot is incorrect. It's wrong. It's patently false and it's foolish. if we're saying that if Brunson takes out if Brunson gets the inbound, he's going to come down and shoot, it may happen. It may happen. 82 games is a long time. 48 minutes is a long time. So it may occur. But to think that is the offense that the Knicks run, stop. Come on. Come on, man. When you watch the game, you see better. You see that this doesn't happen. We come down, we do the three-man weave. Sometimes Mitchell Robinson will pop out for the dribble handoff, or you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you'll see Grimes cut back door. They never pass it to him, right? Then you see the pick and roll where Mitch do the dribble handoff, goes back to the paint. Then he comes back out to the opposite wing for the screen, sets the screen, cuts to the basket, never gets the pass. Y'all see it. Y'all see it. So just to think that Jalen Brunson just comes down the floor just to shoot is false. To think that Randall hijacks the offense is false. He'll do it at times, but he is not a habitual hijacker. Who we should say hijacks the offense, and in fairness to him, I understand his skill set is limited, is RJ Barrett. And I love RJ, by the way. I'm only pointing out things that I see, right? I'm not bashing RJ Barrett. I'm only pointing out the mere fact that RJ Barrett has a limited offensive bag right now. And also, I think Jalen Brunson's and RJ Barrett's shot attempts are similar. I want to pull it. I'm going to pull it up and see. I think they had a similar amount of shots per game. Field goal attempts per game. Let me see. Yep. Jalen Brunson, 17.6. RJ Barrett, 16.1. So Jalen Brunson only took 1.5 more shots per game than RJ Barrett. Right? Jalen Brunson took 17.6, RJ Barrett 16.1. Julius Randle took about 18 shots. Julius Randle 18.6, Brunson 17.6, RJ 16.1, Quickly 11.1, Grimes 8.5. So what I'm saying to you is this. Should I take away some of Jalen Brunson's shots to give them to Grimes? I don't know. I think it's based on preference. I saw that. Grimes looked good on the select team. He finna be. Let me ask y'all, did y'all see Grimes' defense on Josh Hart? Anybody see Grimes' defense on Josh Hart? Man, Simon, man, let me throw this thing in here. David L says Grimes don't want the shots. Hey, and Turnbull says, to be fair, Brunson, he played with a top 10 player in the world. Then he took a step down with a player who has the weakest confidence in his game in RJ. This is one of the things that Knicks fans don't want to talk about. They don't talk about Quentin Grimes, or in the past, Quentin Grimes passing on shots. And Quentin Grimes, and it frustrates me too, Quentin Grimes passes up shots. He did in the past. I'm not saying that's what he is going forward. I've seen it. I've seen it in person with Quentin Grimes passed up shots. A lot. And I was thinking, like, man, why didn't Grimes take that shot there? But he's a young player and he's learning. He's a young player. He's learning. I don't want to turn this into a Grimes bash session. Right? I don't want to turn this into a everybody hates Grimes thing. Right? I don't want to turn it into that, because this is not about Grimes. It's about Brunson. Tony in the building. And the other thing too, the thing that we have to think about is it is tough in this league to be a 3-and-D player at a high level. We call some people 3-and-D because they play defense and they shoot the three. But usually they're either good at one and average at the other. We expect Grimes to be great at both. And can he be that? Yes, he can be that. But you have to be patient, man. You don't become that overnight. Paul George didn't become that overnight. Kawhi Leonard didn't become that overnight. We see what they are right now and assume that that's what they've always been. No. That's not who they've always been. As a matter of fact, I want to show you Kawhi Leonard's first 2 seasons in the NBA. I want to show you Kawhi Leonard's first 2 seasons in the NBA. And then y'all tell me what y'all think. All right, so I'm going to show you Kawhi Leonard's first 2 seasons in the NBA. And y'all tell me what y'all think. Okay. Maybe this. Maybe that. Look at Kawhi Leonard's first 3 seasons in the NBA. 7.9 points a game. Kawhi took, in his first 3 seasons, Kawhi took 6 shots, 9 shots, basically 10 shots. Right? All I'm pointing out is things take time. These things take time. Listen, these things take time. Look at Kawhi Leonard's offensive output his first 3 seasons. 6 shots, 9 shots, 10 shots, right? And then he breaks out in year 4. Relax on Grimes, bro. It's coming. I know y'all want him to get there. I want him to get there. But relax, he'll get there. This is if you want, think about this. If you want Grimes to have a Kawhi Leonard like impact, you gotta wait on it. It doesn't happen overnight. I'm gonna now get this Kawhi Leonard, right? 32 years old. Just turned 30. It's the off season. It's the off season, and they still have Kawhi Leonard as a game time decision. That's hilarious. It's the off season, and Kawhi Leonard's still a game time decision. That's hilarious, bro. So I'm gonna find another player just to compare, right? Just to compare. That's all. Just to compare. That's all. Just to compare. Paul George, 20 minutes a game, first season, 30 minutes a game, second season. Paul George, look at that. 6.5 shots a game his first season, 10 shots a game his second season. What I'm saying is relax on grind. Give him time, man. Give him time. And Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. He says, but how many guys turn down shots? 110 games played. Right. Yeah, relax. Just give him time. The Brunson thing, the reason why I put this up is because we're saying that Jalen Brunson needs to get other players involved. Grimes touches the ball. Does he shoot as much as you want him to? No. But it's not as if Grimes doesn't touch a basketball. He does. He just doesn't shoot yet. That will come. That will come in time. In time, that will come. We just have to relax. Let that man get accustomed to the NBA. Like what Paris Douglas said, man, it's only been 110 games. Relax. Keith Turner says, at least Frank was aggressive. Yeah, that's a troll. That's a troll. And Sherwin says, Grimes and Kawhi have one thing in common. They have very big hands. Okay. And what I'm saying to you is this. What I'm saying to you is this. The Jalen Brunson thing is a real thing. Jalen Brunson is an excellent leader. Here's the thing that buckle your seatbelts for this, right? Here's the thing with Brunson, though. Here's the thing with Brunson. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit on this. Here's the thing with Jalen Brunson. You have not seen the very best of Jalen Brunson yet. And I'm talking about in terms of leadership, in terms of clutch moments. You have not seen the very best of Jalen Brunson yet. Right? Hey, Hotline Bling, I ain't gonna lie. That cat may be the reason why Marcus Smart had his bags packed for him. Right? That may be the reason why Marcus Smart had his bag packed for him. And Keith Turner says that beside Randall, Brunson need better teammates with them. Dante was a good start. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. But the thing with Brunson is this. I think Jalen Brunson is going to be better. I think Jalen Brunson is probably going to be 50, 40, 80. 50, 40, 80 is attainable for Jalen Brunson. Easy. Right? Grimes going into his third season. I'm thinking right around January. I think you're gonna. Listen. You know what? I'll predict it. I know. Content creators don't want to put their. I'll predict it. I think Jalen Brunson and Quentin Grimes are going to become a dynamic duo by January. Brunson is ready. But I think Grimes is probably going to break out around January. And from there, there's no turning back. I think once January get here, there's no turning back for Grimes. But with that said, what are we going to do with RJ? RJ Barrett, if you and your people are watching, man, we're not dogging you, bro. We just need some consistency. That's it. The RJ fans ain't going away. The RJ haters ain't going away either. But the RJ fans ain't going away, bro. We just need some consistency from RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett, like I said many a times, RJ Barrett is like the fitted sheet when you make up your bed. You pull on one side and then the other side pop off. And you like, now you walking around the room all day trying to keep the fitted sheet on the bed. All right, y'all. I'm going to get out of here. Thank y'all for watching the Knicks Morning Drive. I'm trying something new. I'm going to do the Knicks at Night podcast at 9:30 this week. Just give it a shot. Trying to tighten up my schedule. So I'm trying to tighten up my schedule, man. So I'm trying to the Knicks Morning Drive. I'm sorry, the Knicks at Night podcast at 9:30. 9:30. I expect to see all of y'all there. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about Josh Hart being the Knicks version of Andre Iguodala. Tonight, I'm talking about Josh Hart. You heard me. Josh Hart being the Knicks version of Andre Iguodala and how that impacts this team. I ain't gonna lie to you. There are some strong similarities between this team and the championship level Golden State Warriors. I'm not saying that we're that good, but if Dante DiVincenzo is the combo guard coming off the bench, the combo guard coming off the bench, in that Sean Livingston role, if Julius Randle can start passing the ball out of the pinch post like he used to, if Josh Hart can be a similar be similar to Andre Iguodala, then you know who is going to have the Steph Curry type impact on this team. Will he be Steph Curry? Of course not. Nobody is Steph Curry. Nobody. But there is a guy on this roster that may have a Klay Thompson type impact. I mentioned his name already. I'm going to see y'all tonight at 11:30. Y'all have a good day, man. Peace.